The world's top chipmakers can flip a kill switch should China invade Taiwan, Bloomberg reports.
Here's a summary of the article.
Two of the world's most important chip companies can flip a kill switch remotely on their most advanced chip-making machines should China invade Taiwan, Bloomberg reported on Tuesday, citing people familiar with the matter. The news of a forced shutdown, or a kill switch, on ASML's chipmaking gear comes amid intensifying rivalry between Washington and Beijing and mounting concerns over a potential Chinese invasion of Taiwan, which Beijing claims as its own territory. Taiwan is the world's epicenter for semiconductor chips, the ubiquitous parts that are used in products from data centers to smartphones. The U.S., citing national security concerns, imposed restrictions on China under the Advanced Computing Chips Rule in November. The U.S. has also pressured the Netherlands to block some ASML exports to China to limit the country's ability to manufacture advanced chips. Beijing stepped up military activity around Taiwan ahead of Li's inauguration and on Thursday announced drills as a strong punishment for the separatist acts of Taiwan Independence Forces. Li Shi, a spokesperson for China's People's Liberation Army, said. The U.S. is also taking steps to boost chip manufacturing through the CHIPS Act, which provides billions of dollars in subsidies for domestic production, research, and workforce development.
This post received a score of 8,700, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
No shit. You can wreck a multi-billion-dollar chip fab by just simply light a cigar in the clean room.
Well, presumably they do not want to destroy it, just disable them via software, so that the US still has an incentive to help.
US Pacific Command probably has secret standing order to level the whole fabrication complex if things go south.
Absolutely. TSMC probably has protocols to evacuate their best people off island and inform the US when the facility is fully evacuated.
The US is gonna be the ones evacuating them in the first place.
Direct flights to Phoenix.
WW2 all over again. And the US called dibs on everyone.
Better Taiwanese chip makers than Nazi rocket scientists.
Same end goal. Access to the best weapons. Paperclip was a huge success.
To be fair, Dr. Von Braun's department was tasked with getting the rockets to go up. Where they came down, that was another department's job.
China is more likely to do what they did in HK, pay off politicians to vote their way.
The problem for them was that it became basically impossible once Taiwan saw how free thought in Hong Kong was dismantled.
Yup, Hong Kong was supposed to be safe until 2035 before it was fully integrated into China. China broke their promise 15 years early. Nobody is going to give China another chance like that again. ?
So sad. Hong Kong was such an amazing place. The vibrancy has been totally sucked out of it.
It was, quite literally, one of the greatest and most vibrant cities in the world. The financial powerhouse of Asia with an extremely educated and liberal population. It's a Shakespearean tragedy seeing it gutted and torn asunder into another soulless PRC metro. And yeah, the idiotic way they handled HK guarantees Taiwan would never in 1,000 years trust a word the PRC says. They're not stupid, LMAO.
I am extremely doubtful that China could conquer Taiwan via bloody block-by-block urban combat without destroying most of the infrastructure anyway, assuming they can even get across the strait and past the beaches. But yeah, all this stuff gets blown up by the defenders to keep from falling into their hands in any event. There is little chance the Golden Goose survives this potential conflict.
That was the assessment of the Rand corporations what if report years ago, that China could win, but it would be a Pyrrhic victory with nothing left in Taiwan of any value, and extreme loss of life on both sides.
If the U.S. was able to evacuate the most critical minds behind the Taiwanese semiconductor industry, an invasion would actually have long-term benefits to the U.S. The U.S. will likely never be able to match the current productivity of Taiwan's semiconductor industry, but offering asylum to their industry leaders would allow us to get pretty damn close and potentially propel us into being the far and away global leader in that space. Their government and their industry leaders would obviously rather continue to dominate in a sovereign Taiwan, but in the event of an invasion, I imagine they'd gladly take their talents to the US in exchange for safety, a ludicrous amount of money, and a chance to mortally wound the CCP. It would be an equivalent to the US being the primary beneficiary of Nazi rocket scientist defectors after WW2, except without the moral conundrum that presented since Taiwan is an ally. The expertise we gained from them contributed greatly to our military and space dominance throughout the 20th century to now. Having Taiwan's best take a front row seat in U.S. semiconductor manufacturing could have an equivalent effect.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.